Hello everyone, welcome to our channel once again. Please leave a like on this video and subscribe to our channel for more updates, and also leave a comment to express your thoughts on this. Niger military junta has given the United Nations coordinator 72 hours ultimatum to leave the country. The military leaders accused the UN of excluding Niger from its General Assembly last month. Niger's new government did not have a representative at the meeting of world leaders in New York. In a statement dated October 10th, Niger's foreign ministry accused the UN of using underhanded maneuvers instigated by France to prevent its full participation in the UN General Assembly and in subsequent meetings of UN agencies that were held in Vienna and in Riyadh, reporters said. However, the foreign ministry said that the government had ordered Louis Aubin, the UN's resident and humanitarian coordinator, to take all necessary measures to leave Niamey within 72 hours, according to Reuters. The military regime has already criticized the perfidious actions of the UN chief, saying that they were likely to undermine any efforts to end the crisis in our country. Bakreyu Sangare, who before the coup was Niger's ambassador to the UN and is now its foreign minister, was the new leader's chosen representative for the gathering. But according to a diplomatic source, there was also an application by the overthrown government to represent Niamey. The decision to expel the UN official comes as France is withdrawing its 1,400 strong contingent in Niger after being ordered out by the coup leaders. Burkina Faso expelled its UN resident coordinator last year, and Mali ended a UN peacekeeping mission that had been there for a decade. All three countries are struggling with an Islamist insurgency that has spiraled in recent years, prompting power grabs by army officers who promise to improve security. The coups have been accompanied by accusations that France exerts too much influence in its former colonies and a shift toward Russia as a strategic partner instead. France has denied exercising undue influence.
Wow. The Niger military junta has given the UN officials 72 hours to vacate their country. And the simple reason given is because they excluded them from the UN General Assembly in New York. The military juntas are not really taking things easy. The way I see them, like the way we say fire for fire, that's exactly the way they have programmed themselves now for any world leaders, any organization that does not want to recognize their government. They don't give a damn. They want to make sure that if you don't recognize us, you cannot be in our country. You cannot be here, present in our country, and you do not recognize us as a government, and respect our people. That is what the military juntas are doing. When they took over and the ECOWAS, gave sanctions, gave sanctions, and the ECOWAS were doing all they were doing. But one thing is that these people were not moved. They didn't bother themselves. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Nigerian president, happened to be the chairman of ECOWAS, who is just in neighboring a town, a neighboring country with Niger here. I think Niger have like 2 or 3 cities, states that are bordered with Niger. So, and the president came with border blockage, closing the border from Nigeria and Niger, and cutting off their electricity and all that. And that has not made them to change their mind. Yeah, they have gone on, continue with what they are doing, with the government and all that. And they also asked France to quit their land, to vacate their land, to leave too. And France was being adamant, like doing strong head, like we'll say it here, doing strong head. And the people of Niger, the Niger citizens, went up out there to the street, went to the French embassy, and began to protest. And France have no choice but to leave. Now it is now the turn of the UN officials. So the way I see it too, uh, the UN will have no choice but to vacate the Niger, the country. Now, if you look at everything what is happening right now, I think the best the world will do is come to terms with what is happening in Niger. Come to terms with what is happening in Niger, and sit down with these military juntas and negotiate with them and see how they can solve the problem that is on ground amicably. That is my own opinion anyway. This is what I thought. I'm thinking because as things are going, these military juntas don't really care whose toes they're going to step on. As long as you are not working for them, they will come against you. That is just what it is right now. As far as you are not in their side, they see you as enemy and they will come for you. That is what the military juntas are doing. And you don't blame them. And what is the cause of everything that is happening in all these countries? Is leadership. And this leadership is what the UN and the world leader has failed to address. And as long as the world leaders has failed to address the leadership issue in Africa, these things will continue. Yes, we have seen this in this coup in the Francophone countries. But if care is not taken, it's going to extend because other countries are watching the reactions of the neighboring country, what they are doing concerning the country that has been taken over by military. And when they see that, oh, the countries that have taken over by military are surviving and they are living their life normal, and the sanctions by the world leaders and ECOWAS and all that are not really effective. So why can't we do something also and change our own country history? That is what the world leaders have not kind of looked into. The issue of Niger Republic and the military taking over the country is just um, leadership. It's just leadership. If the leadership of those countries has been fair to their citizens, has been fair to their country, I don't think these things will have happened. I don't think military will come and take over government in such countries. When you look at countries where democracy is thriving, I don't see any reason why military will come. But look at Niger, for instance, a country where you have a family rule a nation for 26 years, then you begin to ask, 25 years, you begin to ask yourself question, is it a family business or is it an inheritance? Is it a gospel church, Pentecostal church? Because that is where Pentecostal church run. The general overseer will be in charge for all his life. By the time he leaves, he put his son. His son will rule, and by the time his son leaves, he put his own son. It continues like that. It becomes like a kingdom where you have the first child as the heir apparent to the king to the throne. That's exactly what's playing out. But this is a country, not a Pentecostal church, not anybody's estate or business, not anybody's estate or business. So it's technical that the world leader, instead of sanctioning these people, they should bring them down, sit with them, negotiate, and find out how they are going to solve the problem that is in the nation. Because with what I'm seeing right now, the UN is asked to pack. The France government is asked to withdraw their troop and leave their country, close their embassy. It's going to extend, and as that is going, the military is going to have more time to rule. The military is going to have more time to be in that country. I think the best that can happen now, the best that they can do now, is let their world leaders, come together to handle the issue in Niger Republic and see how they can solve these things amicably. Well, this is just my take. Thank you for tuning in.